So I've spent a good amount of time with Shatterline over the past week, and I started out very hopeful and very excited to have a new FPS that I could sink my teeth into because it was interesting and fun to just jump on and play a few matches and work on some tasks. By Sunday, I found the very concerning things and the things that I think just suck about the game, and I'm not as interested to invest a shit ton of time into the game anymore. But before we talk about all of that stuff, let's talk about the decent parts of the game. I think overall, the mechanics of the game are good. The gunplay is good. All the guns feel like they're distinct enough and different enough to have their own kind of pros and cons with their ranges and just the way they function. The operators are the same way. Each feels like it plays different enough to stand out from the others and have its own role in the team's composition. Having two operators that occupy each role to give them a common mechanical theme, but their look and abilities keeping them different enough so they don't feel like cookie cutter characters is a great thing. For multiplayer, I will say I was wrong about the time to kill in my other Shatterline video when I said it took too long. It is actually pretty quick to kill, and the guns do a good amount of damage along with the different abilities that operators have that can kill. Some are annoying, some are alright, but with how random multiplayer can be, I don't really want to talk about it that much. Because, like all multiplayers, I find it fun at times and frustrating at others, and it's just one of those, I'm not a huge multiplayer guy. Where I think Shatterline really shines is with its expedition mode. We've played that 3 or 4 times, and it's a lot of fun. It's very challenging depending on like what random weapons you get, what perks you get, and when you get your abilities from supply drops. We're still wondering if it is just a bug that we keep getting 2 bosses at the end of each of our runs. But that could also just be a way to make the end one harder, maybe, not sure. We are looking forward to when they release more content for co-op expeditions or co-op missions, because we've experienced like the same 5 or 6 boss things multiple times through like the 4 or 5 runs that we've done. So it honestly doesn't have a lot of content to it, and it has some variety to its locations, but not a lot. And it does sound like they're going to expand the mode, so that's going to be good. That's kind of all I have to say about the decent parts of the game. There are 2 systems that I find either very concerning or that just kind of suck in Shatterline. Let's start with the one that just kind of sucks. Unlocking guns in Shatterline is a fucking slog. It takes so damn long to get from like tier 2 to tier 3, and I've kind of just lost interest in playing that much because it's taking so long. And the guns only really, like, they kind of apply to the expeditions, but it mostly just applies to multiplayer. Because in the expeditions, you're not going in with a loadout, you're not going in with the gun you choose, you're getting a random gun. And it's like, yes, you can put attachments on the ones that you have, and if you get them, then you can use those attachments that are on your gun and your loadout for that. But otherwise, it's just random. So it mostly only applies to multiplayer. And with how long it takes to unlock the guns, I'm losing interest in the game because of it. Also, if you don't have the credits to spend on the guns once you unlock the next tier, it's kind of pointless unlocking that tier, because not only do you have to earn weapon XP to unlock the next tier, but you have to buy every single gun on its own with credits. So from tier 1 to tier 2, you have to earn 25,000 weapon experience, which isn't bad, and then you also have to earn 8,000 credits to unlock all of them, which is also using the same currency that you have to use to unlock more attachment slots on the guns you already have. And the major part about this system that sucks is, I think, the jump from tier 1 to tier 2 and tier 2 to tier 3. So tier 1, tier 2, 25,000 weapon experience. Tier 2 to tier 3, 175,000 weapon experience. We're not talking like, oh, it's just a jump of like 50,000, so like 75,000. No, we are talking a jump of 150,000 weapon XP to unlock the next tier. And if I'm going to take a guess, because I haven't unlocked tier 3, I haven't got there yet, so I don't know how much the guns cost. But if I'm going to assume anything, it's going to be double what is tier 2, so it's going to be 3,000 credits each. So that's going to be like 15,000 credits to unlock all of them. Like, I don't hate this system. I don't think it's a great system, but I don't hate this system. If they knock down the time for unlocking by like bringing the weapon experience experience down, and maybe they do keep the credits at 1500. I don't know, but it would be nice being able to get new guns a bit quicker so that I could try them out and discover my favorites and which would work for me, which would increase my personal enjoyment of the game. And I think it would help a lot of other people probably enjoy the game. I know it's going to cut down on playtime because you're going to run out of rewards. It would increase my enjoyment so I could try different guns and different things. But at least that system is not as concerning as the blueprint and modification system. I don't like the blueprint and modification systems. It feels to me like it's a system made to prepare for exploiting players. Currently, keyword there is currently, there is no way to buy blueprints, so you can't unlock modifications with real money. But that doesn't mean that can't change when they get closer to full release or later into early access. I also don't like the whole concept of modifications working in multiplayer. I'm fine with them working in expeditions, but I don't get them working in multiplayer. It feels kind of cheap to me, and it feels like it's going to unbalance the combat of the game, especially as they release more and more modifications for all the guns. It's going to get to a point where it's really crazy, and it's just going to not be fun for whoever doesn't have like the most powerful modifications. Like, I'm fine with it working in expeditions, but in multiplayer, for me, the modifications just feel wrong. I haven't used a lot of them. I've only unlocked one of the legendary ones, and it's just something about that system. It gives me a gut feeling that it's going to turn really, really bad really quickly when they start releasing more modifications and making them crazier. So that's my thing. I don't like it. Not because, in the playtest it was 10 blueprints and now it's 450. I don't care about the amount that it takes for the blueprints to get a modification. I'm concerned with how is it going to change when they get close to being out of early access and they don't have to care anymore. That's my concern. Just to reiterate, I like the game's mechanics, but I dislike the game's systems. I think they're going to eventually make the game very unplayable for new players, or it's going to turn into complete pay to win. It won't be during early access because I don't think they're that stupid to do it during early access, where they will get either kicked off of Steam or completely just attacked by the community. But once it's out of early access, I would be very wary of the game. There's just something in my gut that says this is going to turn quickly once it gets out of early access. Now, to try to get off of the subject of my gut, or maybe stay on it because I have basically gut impressions of other games that I've put into video form, I'd like to suggest maybe another video for you to watch that's on my channel. If you're looking for a video about me giving my thoughts on a game, I would suggest maybe watching the 10-hour impressions of Cult of the Lamb that I have up called When the Baddie Becomes the Hero. It's much more positive than this one. I'm just going to be honest. Also, maybe if you feel like it, hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It helps me know what people want to see and if people made it this far.